Phoenix Rises. It's been a hell of a week, and I think it's only Wednesday. It's sucking. No one is wanting to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to keep going. But right now, in the pause where you've been caught up in the rat race, you've been doing the chores, you've been making the schedule, you've been getting everybody where they need to go, you're making that transit from break time back to discipline, back to routine, back to rhyme and reason. But don't get comfortable because while you're trying to make that routine that you're used to, this is what we do every year, this is how it goes, this is the season for it, it's the time for it, this is while we are doing what we normally do, several different things are going to happen that we've never had happen before. I don't know what it is, but it's coming. Things are calmer than they should be after being extremely chaotic, and I don't feel that it's a pause in the pulse. I feel that it is uh, a certain side gaining momentum for one last go at it, right? If you've been having that long battle with darkness, I mean, it's almost over, but it's not over till it's actually over. So it's not time to let your guard down. It's not time to get comfortable. It's not time to say, okay, we can take a break right now. No, you cannot take a break right now. We were just taking a break. It's going to be busy. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to be like a blindside where you're not sure where, why, where, and how, but you're sure it's coming. So I've been dealing with literal lunatics that are family members, and so far, if you've been following along, if you're new to my channel, like and subscribe. If you have been following along, then you know I'm talking about the court cases, you know I'm talking about the relatives, you know I'm talking about the lunatics, and Wile E. Coyote is at it again. And the reason I call her that is because she can give anyone the slip. She knows the law, okay? She knows the law and she uses the law to evade the law. The law also knows her. It's gotten to a point though to where even the law who's been dealing with her and knows she knows her shit and knows she knows the boundaries of what she can do. I'm a new character. They haven't been playing this game with me, and I squeak when I walk. All of my credentials are real. All of my merits are real. I don't have to know somebody who knows somebody. I did the work myself. So like I actually work in pediatrics. I actually was a drug court sponsor. I actually was a security guard. I actually have badges and certifications showing what side of the law I'm on. And that the reason we're in a little bit of a sticky trap is because the criminal in question is my mother. So there's a moral element to a criminal element and a criminal element so intense that the morals are out the fucking window. She's got to go. And even in trying to figure out how to get her off of me because of the mental health, it really makes for that much more yellow tape. Like, you can't treat a crazy person like a criminal, but you can treat a criminal like a crazy person. Are they not one and the same? No, they're not one and the same. But when someone is criminally insane, yes, they are one and the same. And there are not enough facilities that deal with the criminally insane. And the people I'm talking about are 110% criminally insane. From going to an asylum to being a cocksucker who is a lawyer, who is standing there. Y'all would never believe this. There was a politician on my mom's side and a grimy ass Freemason on my side, and all I could do was stand there in front of the judge like, I'm just working and living here. I inherited this house, which made the judge look at everybody involved and tell them point blank, this is inheritance. I'm not going to deal with this. Families always lose their mind when it comes to inheritance, and so my mom blurts out that this is just lies. She can't believe what she's hearing. And then the one representing me says, you know what? She reached out to touch me, and he immediately grabbed her and told her, no, ma'am, you just got domestic charges against from this person right here, from putting your hands on this person. You can't put your hands on her in court. Well, you can put your hands on her in court. Sorry, coming through in front of the judge. The judge looks at her, and the judge looks at me, and the judge says, that's dismissed. Absolutely not. I will not grant this eviction because it's made up. You don't own it. He doesn't own it. No matter how many more people you all bring in here, this paperwork could be fraudulent. And until I see the chain of events, each person who has signed something, all I see here is other people signing off on other people's stuff. Like I said before in one of the other videos, they all did a power of attorney thing. And while they were power of attorneying everything, they kept signing their name on everything. Power of attorney, power of attorney, power of attorney. And I said, by the time it went to court and this all comes out, what's going to happen is it's just going to be their name all over everything. And the people that they were using as pawns are just as innocent as they started out. Well, my mom turned out to be one of the chess players, and she is an absolute buffoon. It's not going to go well. Hello, love. So when the judge finally was like, okay, I'm going to reset this hearing. Well, he was going to set it for September 15th. And then her little representative said, oh, that's not a good day for us. And the judge asked, well, why not? What else do you have? And guess what her defense had to say? Well, that's the day she has court for domestic assault. And I, like I said, on who? On me. I was telling the truth. And she had to admit to the judge right then and there, yeah, actually, I only set this case against her to retaliate on her for getting the assault and battery charges, which I have to go back to court over. So every time I have to go to court with this a-hole, I get another court date. I did a short message on this yesterday. If you have to deal with a crazy narcissist, somebody, in this case it's a parent, but someone who just won't let go of you, this parent thinks that because she birthed me, I'm her property, which is even worse because, like I said before, I've had to be her guardian for most of my life. So her treating me like she's my owner is psychotic. It's beyond crazy. It's a slap in the face. But because she's already not allowed to be around me, from multiple no contacts, from calling the cops on herself and getting herself in trouble, everything that's happened, she has done, including calling the cops on herself, like I just said. So while we're in court and she's snickering and she's giggling and she's trying to treat it like a game and she's trying to talk to me like we're best friends, I'm getting more and more pissed off. Like, you're the reason we're here. I didn't do this to you. You're doing this to both of us. So the judge at the very beginning was like, this is too complicated. Y'all go sit down and wait. And we'll get to, definitely not her property. She's about to become a ward of the state. She's about to really become someone else's property if she doesn't stop. She's done it before. She knows how to play this game. Like I said, she's done it before. I'm the only one she hasn't got to play the game with yet. And it's not going well for her. The more people she drags into it, the more the courts have to look at the situation and be like, there are about 20 of y'all involved in this fraudulent ass inheritance scam. What is happening here? What's happening here is God sent me so that while they were trying to attack me, they'd be bouncing off the glass and revealing themselves. And that always happens. And it's the worst. It's the worst. You know how shitty it is for me to be a person that goes into a brand new home, a job, or whatever the fuck it is. And as soon as I start, all the problems start revealing themselves and the thing just starts collapsing in on itself. And I walk into something that looks fine and I walk out and it falls down behind me. That's because it was built on false foundations. It was built on lies or stolen money or something. Something happened, because I'm not a destructive person, but things do get torn down behind me. I worked at a job one time. This is a segue, but it's still in line with what I'm talking about. I worked at a convenience store one time and hadn't been there very long. And the shortest version of this story is the manager sent a picture of his dick to my new phone. Well, the end of that story is they leveled that entire store and now it's a liquor store. That's the end of the story. It's not fun being me. I go where I'm sent, and usually wherever I'm sent is already a burning building and people are jumping out the windows to get away from it. I'm usually either trying to figure out if I can put the fire out or recover anything from the fire, including the people who've been deeply traumatized by it. So the situation I'm talking about is coming into my grandmother's house after she's died, 3 to 4 years after she's died, trying to protect her assets enough so that my wayward mother and uncle can come home from their incarcerations and mental hospitals to the only thing left to them. And when I do, my mom and my uncle get in a fist fight, a literal fist fight. They both go back to jail. Cut to 2 years later, they're both about to get out of jail. One went the steps he was supposed to and gets out in 10 days. The other one skipped out a year early, and she is out a year earlier than she's supposed to be. No, while she's skipping out on her parole, she's racking up all these other charges all the way through. The same thing she was doing to her brother and her other two daughters and her sons, she's still doing to me. But I'm the last one. She's focused all her attention on me just because it's something to do. She's got nothing else to do. But she's been playing this game for most of her life. I mean, her parents were really, really wealthy, and so she could just do whatever. This is a case of get your little badass away from me, take some money, and go be busy. There was a time where my uncle, my oldest uncle, had no business driving a car. I'm not even sure he was ever taught to drive, but his dad did own a mechanic shop, so he probably could. The point is, he was like 17, 18. They go to a car dealership, and he wants to drive a brand new Lincoln around, and the salesman was like, held to the no. I'm not letting an 18-year-old take a Lincoln off the lot. Well, his mommy didn't want him to have to be told no, so she bought him the Lincoln. He drove it home that day. That's not how you deal with your badass kids being told no. But they gave him so much that these entitled little shits, not only could they have whatever they could lay their eyes on, anytime they did something reckless or ruthless or embarrassing or whatever, their parents would gather around and they would call their aunts and uncles and cousins and they would just cover it up. They would just throw money at it. They would just, oh, go get the little shits. They're in jail. We don't want anyone to know they're in jail. We don't want the town talking about us. Blah, 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 blah. And they would go get them and do stuff like send them out of town for rehab, send them out of state for rehab. And the problem is their wealthy family members had the same kind of kids and acted like they've never gone to rehab. They went to the clinic. They went to a ranch in Florida. They went to a rehab, dude. They've been pregnant 14 times and didn't keep any of them. Rich people have rich problems. It's bad when you have to choose to be quote unquote poor just so you can avoid some of this shit. Because basically, whoever they sign up with is like their owner. Because they're so incapable, they tend to have a handler. They tend to have a what the hell are they called? Not an executor, a conservator. And around here, they have no problem making someone go crazy so that they can get conservatorship over them. These things that you hear about celebrities, the shit is not made up at all. It happens to people in regular life too that aren't famous or anything. They just happen to have an affluential family or they were next in line to whatever, and no matter how much of a fuck up they are, they're going to get that seat. It does not matter how incompetent they are, what kind of stick they got to put up their back, and how many other people have to prop them up. That's who it's going to be. I've got two of the biggest jackasses I've ever met in my life in my family, and they're the heads of everything, so that everyone else can puppeteer those heads, right? Like, it's not about how capable these two are, it's about how easily these two can be influenced. And so that's why they pick the perfect puppets. One side's got their hand up my mom's ass, one side's got their hand up my uncle's ass, and both sides are actually the same person. It makes no sense. I don't even know why they're using different characters. If they're all basically on board for the exact same betrayal, why in the world do they need other people involved? Why do they need anyone else involved? It's like money laundering. So you have to have someone in the middle to pass it through to act like you didn't just give it to yourself. I don't know. The people in my family could literally have a mint and just be printing their own money. I don't think anybody would call them on it. I think they would let them do it, and if they talked a good enough line of shit, they would pay them to let them use it. My family members are very charismatic. They're very persuasive, if you will. And if that doesn't work, hell, they'll buy it. They will buy it. They will, how much? How much for this? How much for that? Hell, I'll give you one of my kids for one of yours. They don't have any scruples. There is no limit that they would go to. Yes, they would steal someone else's baby, and yes, they would give up their own baby. They have. The reason they don't have such a bug up their ass about me is because they tried making me a sacrifice as a toddler. They handed me over to a bunch of perverts and did all what they wanted. Well, it didn't go the way they planned because I told on all those perverts as a little kid, as a small child, got away from them for another 30 years. Then circle back. I'm in ground zero right now. The place where the monsters live under the bed. Well, I came back and eradicated the monsters, so they can't stand the fact that I came back to the place with the people who destroyed my life just to destroy theirs. Fuck them. They should have killed me when they had the chance. And I said that over and over again. I said, you're not going to take me down now. You're not going to shut me up now. You're not. I don't have anything that you all can take because you never gave me anything. You never gave me anything but hardship. You never gave me anything but terror. You never gave me anything but pain and suffering. Never gave me anything but depression. And it took a whole lot to heal myself to turn around and come back and give a fuck what was going on here. I could have let them all just off each other, off themselves. But the crime in that would be that my grandparents never did anything really to deserve to have their offspring be little hyenas. They never did anything so underhanded that they deserve to have monster children. And their grandchildren are nothing like their children were. So the influence that our grandparents had over us made us more hardworking. It was that second generation there where they didn't have to work for it and they completely squandered it and had no appreciation. They're the destructive ones. They're the ones who lost everything. The grandkids are the ones who came back and said, let's see what we can recover from the ashes. And instead of being greedy little rats, we said, well, it's already kind of destroyed. I can only put this much into it. And the other one said, I can only put that much into it. And out of 5 of us, we all put a little bit into it to keep it alive, to keep it like standing at all. And that's because the other 2 wayward ones always end up in the street. And although we don't want to take care of them, we don't want to live in the street or in a facility. And weirdly, that's how rich people work. Rich people work by being like, fuck, we'll pay one of our relatives to hide the other one, I guess. And that's kind of how this is going. I have not been paid, but I have paid my dues. I have gone above and beyond the call of duty. I have done more than I should have to. I've done more than was ever done for me. I've never gained a thing from this, and I have put in as much as I could put in. And so it's closing time. I've come to the conclusion of what's going to happen here, and what's going to happen here is this shit will have to be closed out, assessed, and sold. It will have to be sold. If these 2 come in here one more time, I'm pretty sure the house will split in half. And it's taken too much of a toll on me and my siblings to try to protect this thing, to try to keep it where it is. It's pointless. It's like trying to keep a historical building taken care of, and then finally you're just not getting donations anymore, and the roof caves in. Who cares? If these 2 want to live here in a burnt down building, that's on them, because every single time they get around it, they want to do something destructive. We can't stop them. We have tried to stop them, and then we were just in the line of fire. So there's no real reason to stay on and watch the destruction. It's just like everything else. I come in and like a wrecking ball, it crashes by the time I leave. And not from lack of effort, not from me not trying. It's from me coming to see what could possibly be done for it. And I've gone the steps, the stages. I've put over 365 days in at the cost of myself. It has messed up my job. It has messed up my finances. It has messed up my home life. It's messed up my kids' schooling. It's messed up a lot of shit. And I'm not willing to put any more time or effort into this. I'm certainly not willing to do any more court cases over it. And if any of you have been tied up in a situation to where the ex will not let go, the parent will not let go, they truly see you as property and not as a person, well, they'll do anything to get close to you. They will do anything to create proximity, especially causing problems. If they can have any kind of hold on you, any kind of connection or anchor to you, let it be a text message sitting in your unread box, a piece of mail that they dropped off, a sweater they left at your house, driving by your job, your house, making multiple passes. I mean, they're going to do whatever they can to stay in your energy no matter what. Paper doesn't stop anyone. It really doesn't. I've filed multiple no contacts with this person. And basically in this state, until she's in my house killing me, there's nothing they can do about it, which means there's nothing they're going to do about it. It's a make my day law also. So even though she's in this house and I'm in this house, I have the right to shoot her if she comes in this house while I'm here. So much so that one day I called the cops to get her out of here, and the police officer himself told me, you should get a gun, sis. And I was like, what the fuck did you just say? Get a gun? What, I'm going to shoot my mom? I don't think so. That's crazy. That should not be the law enforcement's suggestion, right? It's literally saying, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do for you. And more than one person has been in a horrible situation to where maybe you're married to the person, or maybe it is your relative, or maybe they're mentally ill and the police are telling you, I'm sorry, our hands are tied, there's nothing we can do here. Then you feel like you're going to have to take it into your own hands. That's the slippery slope, friends. Taking it into your own hands still needs to mean going the right legal route, making sure that your ass is covered, making sure that when it all comes out in the wash, you did follow the steps. You did do it by the book. You did everything you could. And when it didn't work, it didn't work. And so your hands are tied. You were forced to make this decision. The decision that others weren't going to make. The decision that they shoved off on you, knowing that you were going to be the villain once you made that final decision. And I am entering into my villain era, since I am not going to be their victim. I will not be hunted down like a rabbit being chased by dogs. We already did that part. I'm the scapegoat. They came back from the woods and now they're scared shitless, as they should be, because I'm not letting it go. I'm not over it, and I'm not cool with it. I have been gifted the perfect opportunity to fuck every one of them over at the same time. It would be like inviting everyone you hate to dinner and putting poison in their food and watching them enjoy their last meal before it's over. They have all been trying to eat me so they can eat me. They go fuck themselves. They have already fucked themselves. They were trying to fuck me over and hit themselves. So, to those of you who feel like you are constantly being targeted, constantly being manipulated, triangulated, just fucked with, guess what? You're probably one of God's favorites. God's favorites have the hardest time. I'm having a real hard time. If you're having a real hard time too, you are someone else's test and they're about to fail it. All you have to do is endure. All you have to do is basically record it, remember it, witness it, testify. Testify as in tell the truth, speak on it. Testify doesn't have to mean go to court and testify. Sometimes it does. Sometimes you got to have the courage to sit right across from the asshole you tried to save, look them in their face and tell them, I've had enough of you. I don't want to see you again, ever. I'm not going to help you again, ever. And the silent treatment is the best policy on a lot of things. When everything you say is used against you, twisted and turned, don't say anything. There's nothing to say when you're not talking to them. There's nothing to say when you go full-blown silent treatment. There's nothing to say when they have no idea what's going on in your life. You know what I said about these people well before it got here? I said, you're going to fuck around and make me famous. Well, I didn't know how I was going to be. I thought I was going to end up on the news with these pieces of shit. But it turned out what I had to do was keep recording. So for the last year and a half, there is video evidence of the stalking, monitoring, the police brutality. I mean, basically flip through any part of my channel and you can see every single business involved, from work with the security guards, ICE, from the private sector to the public sector. Everywhere I've worked, I've been a public servant, and I have shown you all the holes in the story, and I have shown each time where the harassment started and continued, such as a police officer from this town that I'm not from came to my hometown to start the gang stalking and pretty much chased me in a circle all the way till I ended up in this town. Now that it's gone full circle, that guy has been charged with, what was it? He told me when he first started working there, because people have a nasty habit of confessing shit for no reason to me. He told me that he was about to be married and he was about to be a police officer where he came from, but his fiance accused him of rape, and so he went up for those charges. And although he did not get rape charges, he also did not get married and did not become a cop. So like I've said before, they don't fire them, they circulate them. They just move them to another district, another precinct. Well, that douchebag followed me around until I worked at the other security guard job, where I started to be sexually harassed by a different guard. And then after being sexually harassed and reporting it to my female supervisors, who said they'd also had run-ins with him, they put me on trial. They retaliated on me, had put me off of work. There's video of that. Oh yeah, they did it literally the day my brother died. My brother died a year ago in April, and they've been fucking with me hard. A little bit before and since then. Well, guess what? Now I live about 5 miles away from where my brother used to live. I've been here all year, just to feel closer to where he last was, because that was the only good one among them. That was the only fucking relative I have that honestly and sincerely is my kindred spirit. That's the only one, I wouldn't say who understands me, but who has suffered at a level to where he doesn't even try to talk about it anymore. He can't now, but he died from how hard it was. And then two more of my brothers were killed right behind him. In a 6 month period, three of my brothers were killed. So no, I don't feel very friendly. I don't feel very nice about it. And I don't feel like protecting any fucking body who caused that to happen. So death seemed to be getting closer and closer to me. I packed my shit up and I moved overnight. I moved out of state. And I moved, like I said, right to where my brother was. And I started investigating. I didn't talk to the cops. I didn't talk to the locals. I didn't talk to anyone. I just stood right there in the spot and watched. I watched who came around. I watched who came looking for me. I listened to who was talking. Turns out my little brother knows a whole lot more than he was letting on. And I knew he did. And I told him, look, if you don't want to fucking die, you're going to have to get out of here. The people you're fucking with just killed three of my other brothers, and you're going to be next. A year later, when he finally showed back up at this house, he said, oh my God, you were right. They were going to kill me. The guy who killed your other brother made a fucking song about it and put it on TikTok. Yeah, I watched that song not too long ago. I said, that's okay. He confessed to murder on fucking tape. It'll hold up. So then the other brother, the one who was killed after him, he was shot in the throat and ran over. He was clearly being silenced, and it's because he told us who killed the first brother. And I was like, I know who killed the first brother. Motherfucker was sitting at his funeral, totally happy about it, sitting across the aisle from me. It took everything I had then not to do something about it. But you live by the sword, you die by the sword. My brother was always in the streets. And the streets eventually fucking took him. So was my second brother. My third brother was not in the streets. He had a secret that he just fucking drowned, right? And unfortunately, people didn't have the decency to let sleeping dogs lie, and they had the nerve to out him as gay at his fucking funeral, which was not necessary. I don't feel like his family needed to know he was gay in his death. We probably could have guessed. We purposely just didn't ask because he didn't want it told. But to have the three strikes you're out, I'm sorry, well, three strikes you're out to me. The family members who caused this to happen were in question. But once it got down to it, and I found out my mom was involved, and my mom is the reason my three brothers are dead, I will never let it go. I'll never forgive her. I don't care if I never held what she did to me against her. What she did to my brothers and what she caused to have happen to my brothers is 100% on her. 100% on her. And I will not be sacrificed for her. I don't care how long this goes on. I don't care how many more people she gets involved in it. I don't do the things they did. I don't go the places they go. I'm sis. I'm the one who goes and picks them up from jail. I'm the one who puts money on their books. I'm the one they fucking parole out to. I don't have blood on my hands. I'm the one who keep getting their bloody children out of the street. So this bitch is over here trying to take me out as if I'm the other mother. Yeah, well, you're right. You did lose all the other kids to me. The fact that she's that violent and that evil and that disgusting and that she would do it just to be doing it. Fuck, no one's bribing her. She has nothing to gain from it. It's just something she's more than willing to do. Her favorite game she's been playing all her life. She is the perfect puppet for this group too, because all she wants is attention. So if they give her attention, she'll do it. They give her some dope, she'll do it. Hell, this woman, I've seen this woman go into court and tell the judge, you still owe me for an 8-ball, and him throw the entire case out because she wasn't lying. He really did owe her. This woman's like a ticking time bomb, so that's why the legal system don't fuck with her. She knows everybody's name, face, and station. And so she's always using them to get out of it, but she is literally like a fucking STD, dude. Everyone who gets involved with her is infected. So I wouldn't fuck with her, quite literally. She's like a secret trap. She is definitely a double agent. She's on both sides of the fence. She genuinely goes over here and does the bad things and then goes back and tells the people they're about to do it to, hey, so-and-so's coming for you. Hey, they're looking for you. And that's why they're always wondering, how do they know? How they see who's coming? Her. To the point where every time she goes to jail and gets right back out, all the rest of the people are like, she's a snitch. Snitch my ass. Why would you mess with her at all? She's not a snitch. Her ear might as well be a wire. Her eye might as well be a camera. I don't know why anyone would do any business with her, hang out with her, talk to her on the phone. I don't know why anyone would be involved with her. But I've used these videos to keep me safe, not just to keep the record straight, because I don't give a fuck. People are going to talk about me like they already have. They're going to frame me in as many ways as they can. The thing is, when you're sitting right here in the light and the burden of proof is on you, not only are there timestamps on these videos, but you can see me. It's a record of what has happened. It's literally one long story broken up into little segments. But so far, 3 different times I have been involved in a major high profile court case to where all I had to do was send them to my freaking YouTube channel. Didn't have to try to prove anything else other than the fact that, well, I didn't have a weapon on me. I felt unsafe, so I started recording. And then 1,000 people witnessed with me exactly what I'm talking about. So collective, it's y'all who've been keeping me alive. It's like literally the spirit of subterfuge that's keeping me showing up on this camera. It's keeping me checking with y'all every other day. I don't just say it because, oh, woe is me, this is my plight. I say it because I know for a fact there are other people who are going through the Pain Olympics. I know for a fact there's other people on the other side of the screen watching thinking, damn, I didn't think to do that. I didn't think of that. Sometimes I watch other readers, clairvoyants, and clairaudience, and they are the messaging system. It's like birds chirping outside. They're the messaging system that lets me know it's coming. It's right around the corner. Nature will give me signs and symbols like, if you're of the light, they can tell. They're coming for you. Trust me. They knew who you were before you knew who you were. And if you've been getting more and more pushback and friction, how about this? Last night I had a severe anxiety / panic attack. I used to have them a lot. I used to like wake up at that level of anxiety. But I felt it last night, and I'll be honest, I ate an edible, so it was probably related to that. But it was like strike fear in the hearts of your enemy level. It was fucking terrifying. I couldn't get right, and I was like, oh my God, what is going on? I smoke a ton. I smoke all the time, but I don't eat edibles, and I'm thin. So trying to, what's it called? Digest it, metabolize it, trying to metabolize it was taking a lot. It was taking a toll. Either way, I've had all types of shit done on me to where I was like, oh man, if I have accidentally been drugged, I hope I make it through this, which I probably wasn't, but still I was worried. I was like, oh my God, panic attack, like I said. It took a couple times, but I couldn't like lay down in the dark. It was giving me motion sick. So I would get back up, and I would walk outside, and I would just stand barefoot in the grass. If you've ever smoked too much, if you've ever eaten too much of it, or you're just having an outright fucking panic attack, turn on a low lamp, lay down on the floor. If that's too intense because you're flat, sit back up at an angle, up against the wall. Like, put your butt on the floor, bend your knees, put your back against the wall. Whatever you got to do, get to a position where you can get your hands over your belly or your pelvic region, or possibly both, one over your chest and one over your stomach to pelvic region, and slow your breathing down. Feel your heart rate. Calm yourself down. Come back down, anchor yourself into the moment, and do the countdown. Count the 3 things in the room, or the 5 things in the room, or feel something with each one of your senses. Well, thank you. It is sharp. Anywho, you gauge the room with your 5 senses, and when you come back down to a grounded space, it's possibly just a rush of emotions. It's possibly just a flood, a chemical release from some suppressed emotions, from some deeper underlying things. But we've recently had major planetary shift today the 12th, is where the planets are in line. There's going to be a total solar eclipse and a meteor shower. So honestly, if you're feeling out of sorts, you're feeling kind of upside down, or you feel like panicked, try to ground out. It has to do with space weather. It has to do with the anxiety of the seed. Like, all the children are about to go back to school, right? And so they're nervous. They feel peer pressure. They feel like, will I mess up? Will my schedule be right? Will I make friends? All those things. There's a lot of pressure coming in. And like I said, here pretty soon, while we're distracted by those normal things, that's when the enemy's going to strike. Right when you think everything's normal, right when you think everything's back on track, right when you think business as usual, that's when they'll strike. That's when it'll be like, okay, now's the most opportunistic time. They won't see it coming. And that's going to happen. To say expect the unexpected is to be like, always have your guard up. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, but that's not what I'm saying. The people you have already tried to make distance from, the people that you tried to back away from, they're not going to let go so easy. Prepare for round two. Prepare for them to spin the block and use whatever they have to, whether it's intimidation or love bombing or just some way to get proximity to you. Those who you have already tried to get rid of are about to try to make a comeback. That one last play, that one last time, that last ditch effort, that desperate plea, and you have got to stand your ground. You've already come too far to back down. You've already made too many changes to go backwards. You've already become someone else. So what they're asking for isn't possible. It's time to close that door. It's time to shut it down, cut it off. Let last season be last season. We got to move on. We can't. We already know how things are, and we know where those things lead. So those things have to be cut off. Those people have to be cut off, and it can't lead down that same old alleyway again. It can't lead back to where we were. It is closing time. This is a metaphor for where most of us are headed. Most of us are headed away from the past. Most of us are headed out that door. Most of us are going that way, not that way. I don't need to inherit anything. I don't want these problems. Sometimes what is presented to you as a gift is actually just a burden, such as a house. You can inherit a house out in the countryside, far away from where you live. You go out to that house and you realize it needs all kinds of repairs, and it's kind of in a desert. There are no workstations around here. There are no lumber yards around here. There are no steel around here. There's no hardware store here. So how are you going to fix this piece of crap up? Like, you're just taking on a burden. It's a money pit, something that you're going to have to keep on paying and putting into, and it's not going to yield any results because it's a sinkhole. It's time to let go of the sinkholes. It's time to call burdens burdens. They're not all gifts. Until next time, guys, I love you. I will see you probably this evening, maybe between 10 and 11.